So, tell me something terrible. Fantasy draft?
No, I think it was the fan.
That's not a draft.
Just a regular fan draft.
That's not a draft. That's a breeze.
I thought it was a draft. I thought the door was open.
Artificial breeze.
Yes. So it is a fantasy draft. I'm funny too sometimes.
So witty. No. I'm so witty and pretty.
And gay. And I pity any girl who isn't me today. I was in band, folks.
Were you now?
Mm-hmm.
You want to keep that in there?
Yep.
Okay. Hi, I'm loud, and I can hear myself in the headphones. Hold on. That was aggressive. You'd say your side of the story.
Hi, I'm Tiffany.
And okay, that is loud. Scott.
And you're listening to Tell Me Something Terrible.
Loud.
Loudly.
Yeah, you are. There, I still said it.
Okay.
Okay. I have Cheez-Its and wine, and it's past my bedtime.
My wine got slightly warm, and I'm really mad about it.
That's all you have left anyway.
It is.
You don't have time to drink. You got to read.
Oh, shoot. Hold on.
I'm here to learn.
Shamelessly plug while I drink this real quick.
In front of all these people? We have Facebook, and we got the Twitter. And tonight, out of a random act of whatever, we made a TikTok. By made a TikTok, I mean we logged into TikTok. So, feel free to follow us on TikTok at Tell Me Something Terrible. And we have Patreon if you like bonus episodes. We have a couple of them. By a couple, I mean like 4, 5.
I'll take a free feel.
A feel free?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Okay.
I had been charging you.
Not done yet.
I had been charging you up to this point, but you've probably earned a BOGO at this point.
I'd hope so. I don't know. You've been charging me with is it the cost of the mortgage then?
Yes. Yes. And you mow the outside lawn most of the time. All the time. And the inside lawn most of the time.
Yes.
Anyway, should I hit them with our major announcement? You're looking at me like we haven't just discussed this major announcement for the last hour.
I'm not pregnant.
No, fuck, no.
That's literally impossible. I'm waiting for the day that they decide my endo is so bad they just take my uterus.
Yeah.
Oh, darn.
No, this is much more important than that. So we have this episode. This is episode 50 whatever. 52? 2. Okay. Numbers. Oh, yeah, it's a Friday episode. Those are evens. And then Friday night, we're recording a very potentially long episode with Beth and Jamie, Patreons, which will be either a 1-part or a 2-part, depending on the length of it. And then after that, which will be mid-September, we are going to switch to 1 episode a week because life.
Someone's business gets really busy in the fall.
Yeah, because, multiple factors. One, we're not in a pandemic anymore, so Tiff's not just sitting around itching to write episodes. 2, my job has become much more, I have more responsibility at work. And 3, Tiff has her own business, which requires lots of things. And October has Halloween, which is our family's national holiday. November has Thanksgiving, our daughter's birthday. December's Christmas. So anyway, for at least the foreseeable future, we'll be going down to 1 episode a month. It might be a little longer. Yeah. Instead of the half hour, 40-ish minutes, it'll probably be closer to an hour.
Yeah, and do hour 5 instead.
Yeah. So that'll potentially shift the schedule a little bit. We might go back to, maybe in the spring, we'll go back to 2 of the, shorter episodes a week. Yeah. But for the foreseeable future, we'll probably go down to 1 episode, a little longer, every week, just to make our work-life balance more
sustainable,
more lifey and less worky.
Yeah,
because we like doing this, but it's not it's not our income, it's not our job.
Yeah,
it's something we do as a hobby because we like it. We know people that listen like it, so that's why we keep doing it.
And we don't want to get so burnt out that we don't want to do it.
So if you want more of us, you're going to have to make it so that this becomes our job. So share away and become patrons and shamelessly plug us.
And then I don't have to work 5 to 6 days a week. I'll take my books down to 4 days a week. So
and just do this. Yeah. shamelessly plug us till we're raw. Is that too much? Did we just get...
Just gets a little bit too sensitive.
Yeah, we're NC-17 now. No lawyers are going to, help us with our legal cases.
Nope.
Anyway, so that's the big announcement of the day.
Yes.
On this it was a nice September day today.
It was lovely. It made me really restless.
It was lovely. We had tea in the garden.
It was made me really restless. It made me want the Apple Pumpkin Festival, except then I remember when we went to that cheese place and that lady was like, ugh, the Apple Pumpkin Festival. And I'm like, ugh, maybe I don't want to do that.
Right?
We'll go to Tecumseh
when we do the Apple Pumpkin Festival, we just got to be like less streetsy and more let's go in the shops.
And actually spend money, not just look around.
Yes.
We wanted to get cheese that day, except... It was literally 90 degrees.
Yeah.
We'd already bought 7 bottles of wine.
Hey, dog, I dropped a Cheez-It. Look, you won the lottery. Eat it. Anyway, shall we digress?
Yeah.
Have we announced ourselves?
Yes.
We did?
Yeah, you got really loud about it.
Did I? Okay,
Yeah.
good.
Okay.
I've had many the wines.
Okay.
Also, I've gotten back on my diet the last 3 days, so I've had a lot fewer, a lot less
Chips?
food and a lot more wine. Not a lot more wine. Same amount of wine, a lot less food, so it's hit me stronger.
All right. So I need to pull up.
Oh yeah, she
my
says she
gallery
has
here.
pictures for this episode.
Yep. So we'll post those.
Pothos?
We'll post.
In the
We'll post
Ethos?
those. Yep, in the Ethos.
Middle Game, great book. You should read it.
Oh, I haven't read that one. I was supposed to say
You haven't?
I've read it. No, I've read Middlesex, which is also a really great
Middle Game.
book.
Who wrote that? Her name made me think it was a dude. Ah, shit.
Lee.
Hold on. No, this deserves a good plug.
All right.
I'm
So while
going to
you're
look it up.
looking that up.
Tell the people what we're here for.
So you wanted to talk about cryptids.
I did?
Yes, you did. So you mentioned it a few episodes ago.
Hold on. It's Shannon. Seanan. Shannon? McGuire.
Shannon.
Okay, Shannon. Whatever. Middle Game. Good book. Highly suggest.
Is that the one with the math people and the opposites?
Yes.
Okay. It is.
The math people in the language. It's a good book. I just told you about it. You haven't read it.
He just keeps telling me how good it is, so I'm going to believe it's a good book.
Well, it was... I feel like it kind of... not encompassed us, per se, but it had a lot of those, like, math people, word people. Like, I mean, that's kind of how people would probably describe us.
Are you sure? Because they'll be like, she's a subpar word people. She's not a real word people.
You're a word art people. I'm a math science people. Get reading your words, people.
Sure. Let's see how good of a word people I am after this.
A word people?
Yep.
You're knocking out of the pack.
Yeah, I am. So we're going to talk about a Michigan cryptid.
Mm-hmm.
We have our fair share of them. We have the Melonheads in Allegan County.
Great metal band.
The Melon.
I bet you that is a metal band.
Probably.
Hold on, I'm getting on Spotify. You keep reading.
And then we have the
And yes, that's how this podcast is going to go.
So we have the Dewey Lake Monsters. We have our Bigfoot, since we are in the northern
Melonhead is an artist.
Shut up. Are you serious?
Runaway is their most popular song. They have a late single called I Feel Love.
Oh, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
Well, these ones will eat your face.
Oh, you can hit it.
You can only play like 10 seconds of a song before you might get sued.
Hold on. I'm going to find the chorus. I want to hear these guys.
They sound like somebody you listen to. Okay, pause it before we get sued.
I don't think Melonhead's going to reject the free publicity. I wonder if we can add that. I'm going to follow them on Twitter. Hold on. You keep reading.
It sounds like something we'd listen to. So,
it sounds very... I'm trying to think, like yellow cardish.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was going to say like emo green, like sort of more calmed down Green Day, which is yellow card. Since we are obviously in the northern part of North America, we also have like Bigfoot sightings. We have our very own Nessie named Pressy, and she's found in Lake Superior. And then we have my personal favorite, which is the Nain Rouge, which is Detroit's very own demon of the Strait.
The red diamond?
A red dwarf.
Dwarf.
Yeah.
That's right.
So like you.
Whoa. As long as you're not talking about my junk. Called the red dwarf. Wow, that would be aggressive. What was it? Something rouge?
The Nain Rouge.
Nain Rouge. You can't roll your R's.
No, so now it's French. They don't roll their R's.
Don't they?
No. It's just the Spanish, right?
You really, you dove into that hard. Okay. Let's get a baguette and move on.
He's one of my favorite Michigan cryptids. Eventually, I might do an episode on him. But this episode, we're going to learn about one of the most infamous Michigan cryptids, the Dogman.
Dogman?
The Dogman. Yep.
Okay.
Have you heard of him?
Vaguely.
Okay. So the first record of the Dogman comes in 1887 when two lumberjacks in Wexford County had a run-in with a huge dog.
Remember when I was a lumberjack for Halloween because it was the easiest costume ever? Because I literally wear plaid and I have a beard. So I just took an axe to work. I literally just took an axe to work.
An actual sharpened axe. He took it off of our wall that we use as decor. Took it with him.
I was between wear a plaid shirt and go as a lumberjack or wear like a brown shirt and go as Gimli. Like it was kind of like whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe this year we'll do Gimli.
Yeah.
I'll be Legolas. I've got to dye my hair back to blonde.
Yeah. That's all.
It wouldn't take much.
No, and you could do like the fun elfie braids.
Yeah, it's very white underneath the color.
Oh, underneath your flame retardant
color, yes. So the lumberjacks decided they were going to chase after it, and this dog creature...
I feel like lumberjacks are naturally slow.
The lumberjacks lumbered after this giant dog.
Maybe that's why. Maybe it's not because I'm like, Al Borland's not going to be fast.
No.
Do you know who Al Borland is?
Yeah, he's the next door neighbor. And
that's Wilson.
Oh, Al's the
in
co-host.
Home Improvement?
He's the co-host.
Yeah, of Tool Time? Yes. Come on.
I knew it was in the same show. It was just the character.
Get it together.
So they chased after it, and the dog creature hid inside this log where one of the men decided to poke it with a stick. And then the dog stood up on its hind legs and howled like a human with a human-like scream.
Giggity.
So they described it as a 7-foot-tall, blue-eyed dog man with the torso of a man and the head of a dog.
So like Dirk Nowitzki.
Who?
One person laughed at that joke, and that's all that counts.
It's funnier when you explain it.
He's a basketball player.
Okay.
He's legitimately 7 foot tall. I don't know if he has blue eyes, but he's of European descent, so I kind of hope he does.
Some sightings say amber eyes.
And he's got long hair. See? Is that kind of funny now?
Oh my gosh, yes.
Okay.
Especially because, oh no, there's a photo that I didn't include in here. I'm going to have to Google it.
No, don't Google it. Don't Google it. That's my thing. But just when you say a 7-footer with blue eyes and like shaggy hair, I'm like, that's fucking, you talked about Dirk Nowitzki.
Yep. Okay, hold on. The photo might be in here. Hold on.
She's going to post these on a Facebook post. Shamelessly plug, if you don't follow us on Facebook, follow us at Tell Me Something Terrible. We're sneaking up on 500 followers, in which I will do a shirtless YouTube video. Just kidding.
Oh my God.
If you don't get us to 500 followers, will you stop Googling stuff?
Nope, I found one that's going to make that picture be funny.
Okay, good. Okay. Side by side, coming on our YouTube.
Yep.
YouTube, Facebook.
Okay.
This isn't on YouTube.
So legend has it that the creature reveals itself every 10 years in the year ending in 7. But lore of Michigan Dogman can be found among the Ottawa tribes, which inhabited the Manistee River area, and the Ottawa Chippewa tribes, who believe that the dogmen are actually skinwalkers.
Okay.
Which are my ultimate favorite cryptid.
Like that ranch in California? Nevada?
Arizona-ish area. Yeah. I'm a big fan of the skinwalkers. They give me the heebie-jeebies. But
is it because you're an esthetician?
No, it's because I'm part native.
And an esthetician?
And an esthetician. Okay. So there are...
When's the Skinwalker facial coming to Epicenter Skincare?
Oh my God, that's going to be the October facial. No one, everybody's going to be like, I don't get it. And be like, well, that's because you're not as crazy as I am.
She actually steps on your face. It's part massage.
So, there are sparse sightings. I'm so excited about that. I'm so excited.
You shouldn't be.
So there are sparse sightings of the Michigan Dogman over the next 100 years.
Of this fake creature? Cool.
Yes, it's a cryptid. You don't know if it's fake or not.
It's a wolf. Let's proceed.
So, in 1937 in Paris, Michigan, Robert Fortney was attacked by 5 wild...
Where the hell is Paris, Michigan?
I have no clue.
Can we get there? Hold on. I'll Google it. You keep reading.
So, he was attacked by 5 wild dogs, and he insisted that one of them walked on 2 legs.
Why would just one of them?
Because he's the leader of the pack.
Paris, Michigan is... Wait, there's an Eiffel Tower in Paris, Michigan. Holy shit, there is! It's 2.5 hours from here.
What?
It's up by the Muskegon River. And there's a fucking Eiffel Tower there. I shart you not.
Oh my god, so we can go see the Eiffel Tower and the London Bridge in the United States?
Yeah.
Fuck passports. Who needs Europe?
That's actually pretty neat. All right. Well, we're going on a roadie on Sunday.
Sunday?
Where the hell is this? Oh, it's like mid-palm, like where your pinky and your middle finger joint would be.
Okay.
Actually, we could stop there on the way to Houghton Lake.
We can stop there on the way to Houghton Lake?
Yeah, it's just west of Mount Pleasant.
Oh my god, we're texting Jordan and I'm telling her that's what we're doing. She's gonna be like, you're gonna make me go to some other, because the last time I went on a road trip with her, I made her stop by the Castle Rock and the mystery spot. And so I love hokey side of the road, like bullshit stops. That's what I did when I was growing up. Anytime we went,
that's the first time anyone ever hit her mystery spot. Sorry, it's a terrible joke.
I've seen bears in like the UP.
We did that like tiny. Remember when we did that little rock castle thing on the way to Disney?
Was so cool.
So anyway,
that was in like Georgia, wasn't it?
So next Friday, and another reason we're going on one episode a week on vacation, we're taking a little 3-day, 4-day weekend or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm so excited for Jordan to just judge the shit.
Let's
out of
not tell her. I'll just drive.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna be like, take a left here. I'm gonna navigate for whoever's driving and be like, take a left here. Oh shit, the Eiffel Tower. Who knew? That's weird. We're just in Paris, Michigan. Anyway, keep reading your story, would you?
I'm so excited. I want to text her so bad. So anyway, in Paris, the guy with 5 dogs, one was walking.
Oui.
Yep. And then there are similar reports of creatures in Allegan County in the 50s, and then again in
Do you know what dog is in French? You do. Think about it real hard.
Doog.
Bruno.
Oh my god. The world makes so much sense.
Right?
So there were also spottings of him in the Manistee and the Cross Village, don't ask me where, in 1967. And then we have our first break.
In the case?
In the pattern. In 1979, Dave Schmelski was out.
Schmeltz.
Was out. You're not going to do your...
Letterkenny?
Letterkenny?
No.
He was out bow hunting near the Manistee National Forest near dusk when he heard footsteps moving along behind him, but only when he moved, and they would stop when he stopped.
Did he now? Letterkenny fans just laughed. Everyone else is like, okay.
I don't get it. So then he sprinted to his car. So the next day he went back to see. Of
course, it wasn't his truck; it was his car.
Of course. So he went back to look for evidence, and he wound up taking a cast of like giant paw prints that were left in the mud from whatever was stalking him. And then in 1987, a song aired on the radio station in Traverse City called "The Legend." So
who knew this episode was going to be so musical when you started?
Yeah, of course it was.
Who's this by? Hold on.
Steve Cook.
Steve Cook.
Yep. So he wrote.
Wait, is it spelled like Cook, or is it one of those names that's spelled like cock,
no,
but he says it's Cook?
It's actually Cook.
I was kind of hoping it's Koch. Okay, Steve. Wink, wink.
So,
Steve Cook's workout mix. I don't think that's what we're looking for.
No.
Steve Cook. What's it called?
The Legend. It was. You might want to put like Dogman in there.
No. All you got to put is The Legend.
I found the lyrics pretty easily.
Michigan's Dogman.
Yep.
25th anniversary. The Legend.
Is this the mandolin release? Because he released it recently with a mandolin.
That's 1987 in a nutshell.
They walked like men and screamed.
What the fuck?
1917, a sheriff who was out a walking found a driver.
You don't even need to listen to this podcast, guys. You can get this whole thing in 4 minutes and 2 seconds of Steve Cook just whispering street nothings, sweet nothings in your ears.
So, anyway, no, not necessarily true, because he actually, this song wound up being an amalgamation of like different cryptid stories kind of put into one song. And he actually said that he had never heard of the Dog Man of Michigan before the day he released that song.
And brought the crazies out.
It just so happened that like in the beginning of the song, like the first lyrics of the songs were like several lumberjack found a dog man who stood up on his hind legs. But he says he's never heard of the Dog Man before that, even though it like matches the first recorded sighting of them almost perfectly.
So he knew of a dog man. He just probably didn't know it was called the Dog Man.
Yeah, that was actually like in Michigan.
Sure,
yeah.
Steve.
Well, it was an amalgamation of a lot of different cryptids, you know. So he kind of put it into one song. And then the song was intended to be an April Fool's joke, and it didn't really get a lot of traction when it had first aired.
Because it's not funny?
No.
Okay.
He was a DJ, not a comedian. What do you want?
Was he? Because
Yeah.
his singing was pretty... He was just talking.
It was
like spoken word.
Yeah, he was legit. He's actually like a legitimate like DJ of like the radio station that he aired it on. It wasn't an actual singer.
Okay.
That's what he actually did. And then the call started pouring
Steve
in.
Cook in the morning. We're cooking up breakfast. Sorry. Told you. I should have gone into marketing.
You have
I
the
did.
Face, you have the face for radio.
Oh, thank you.
You're welcome.
You haven't asked for Instagram.
Oh my God, thank you.
I know. See, that's how
I've
you...
done a lot of squats.
That's how
to
you
get
give a
there.
compliment. You should learn how to do that.
So after the song aired, the next day he wound up getting a lot of calls from people who have experienced or had sightings of the Dog Man.
Most of them had no teeth.
Probably. So in August of 1987, the year the Dog Man song was released, homeowners in the Lutheran, Michigan area called the police over vandalism. When Officer Jeff Chamberlain arrived at the home, he saw that the bottom half of their screen door had been torn open and the frame punctured with deep teeth marks.
I'm just thinking of your mom's door that's hung upside down.
Look, I told her she needs to get me measurements of the door so we can just buy her a
I'm just like,
one.
yeah, a cat could run through that screen. It's at the bottom of your door. Anyway, proceed.
Every single time I go over there, I'm like, Mom, you need to get me the measurements to your door. And she just rolls her eyes. I'm like, I will buy you a new fucking door. What are the measurements? And she just keeps glaring at me.
It's actually kind of funny to have someone whose door is upside down.
Look, you don't have to go there. That door handle and I.
It's still funny.
My brain can't handle it.
Hold on. Our lady dog's humping our male cat.
Get off him. You're fixed and a female.
She don't.
And he's a cat.
She identifies as a humpy dog.
She identifies as a cat.
As a male cat.
As a male cat.
Anyway, keep going.
Please, you guys, I really hope that wasn't heartless. It was a joke.
About the door?
male cat.
Oh, I was like, no one cares about that door.
No.
About our weird dog.
She has a weird relationship.
She's now licking his ears. Anyway, proceed before we get sidetracked by our animals more.
So when the door. Okay, so and in addition to the door, I was going to start that whole paragraph all over again. And
Screen
I'm like,
door. Something ran through the bottom of their door.
Something tried to eat their door.
Okay.
So, and then in addition to the door issues, all up the side of the house were these long scratch marks. And then there were also bloody slobber marks that were taller than the officer's head.
Like actually bloody, or they're British? Look at these bloody. Look at these bloody slobber marks.
They were slobbery and bloody.
That's the worst British.
And then in the B-roll of the Monster Quest episode that I was watching.
Okay, you've just lost your credibility. People have turned the podcast off. Oh shit!
They were like over. They looked like the horror movie like blood spatter that you see like in like haunted houses and shit. Mm-hmm. Like that was the FX on their B screen.
Nice.
Yeah, their B-roll. So they were still glistening and wet, and so he also wound up finding dog prints near the house. So he's like, "Oh my gosh, this creature is still around."
Were they Dogman prints?
They were dogman prints.
Hit.
So he took photos and submitted them to the DNR, which is the Department of Natural Resources.
Oh, okay.
For anybody who doesn't know who the DNR
I thought it was Dogman's Not Real. Sorry, that was the worst of jokes. Sober me's going to listen back and be like, ooh, that was pretty low hanging.
Yeah.
Even for me.
Yeah, we do like a good low hanging fruit, though.
I don't know why you just smirked at me awkwardly.
So, then in the winter of 1993, a 13-year-old girl trying to smoke a ciggy without mom and dad knowing.
Sneaky ciggies.
She was out behind
She
her.
was 8.
Close enough. So she was out behind, look, it was the early 90s. We were wild now. Like, I was in, like...
Literally, that's when Wild 'N Out probably started.
Okay.
It didn't.
No.
Maybe.
Don't ask me, because, like,
About
we're going to get derailed again, and I'm going to go down some weird train, and we're going to be like, whoa, lady.
In 93, you were 4.
Okay.
So let's not just go making crazy assumptions.
All right. We'll do an episode eventually.
You still had baby fat on you.
No. I never had baby. I was like Lily.
I saw your pictures. You
Yeah.
came out at like 12 pounds, 3 foot tall. You look like a fucking linebacker.
And then by the time
In
I was
diapers.
2, I lost it all and I looked like Lily.
Sure.
I did.
Keep reading your story. You're in like the first paragraph. We got 8 pages to go.
So anyway, she was out smoking behind their house.
Ciggies.
Her ciggies behind the house in Reed City. 90s was wild, guys. And then she noticed that there was a glint of light coming from between the boards of an abandoned barn. After staring into the darkness for a few minutes, she realized the darkness was staring back.
And then the night bus pulled up.
No, instead there was a 6 foot.
What'd you fall over for? That's the worst what's his tits impression ever.
Stan Shunpike?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I tried to have acne on my face when I said it. It didn't work.
It's starting to work. Look.
Take under the way, earn. Go. Just go. No.
Look, no. Additionally, one of the reasons why we're going to cut it back to 1 is that the lack of sleep and the lack of water is starting to pop up on us externally. Both of us are severely dehydrated and broken out.
So, upon research of many months, Vizzies aren't hydrating.
What?
As an alcoholic seltzer, we thought they were hydrating this whole time.
This is
They're not.
supposed to be a alcohol water.
Yeah.
A bubbly water with alcohol.
These are lies. It's a marketing scheme, guys.
It really is.
So we're back on the wine tonight. And those fuckers are expensive. It's like $20 for a 12-pack.
Yes.
Yeah, we don't have enough Patreon supporters to keep that up.
Vizzy, come on now. We need a sponsorship.
$9 for a bottle of wine.
So, so she noticed a glint of light between the boards of the abandoned barn near her house, and after staring into the darkness for a few minutes, she realized there was a 6 foot tall creature with a dog head staring back at her.
That's called a homeless person. You bitch.
Rude.
Offer him a haircut and a shave. And don't be like, it's the dog man. He's like, my name's Fred. God. It's the Geico commercials, the caveman all over again.
So she ran away from poor Fred.
It's a dog man. He's like, I have a mother.
And then later she recounted her experience to a neighbor who claimed that they'd also had seen
The homeless man? Yeah.
No.
Don't be a bitch. It's the 90s. Times are hard. Cocaine's real.
So it was actually, they say that they saw a buffalo-sized dog in the same barn.
Buffalo-sized dog.
So now it's a fat homeless man.
Jesus. There's no buffalo. There's either a buffalo or a dog. You don't get buffalo-sized dogs.
Says you, not if they're 7 foot tall, like the lumberjacks said. So these reports just keep coming in. Over 10 years, there are over 100 reported sightings.
Clifford can't catch a break anyway. Sorry.
She is upset.
Our dog's losing her goddamn numbers.
She's looking for that buffalo-sized dog outside.
We said dog, and our dog
Took off.
lost her mind. Did you get it? Did you get that buffalo-sized dog? Anyway, keep going.
She's literally the size of that buffalo dog.
She is distraught. Will you go ahead with your story? I'm going to try to calm our puppy.
So, over 10 years, there were over 100 reported sightings in the Manistee area alone. And since releasing his single, which eventually wound up going viral, Steve Cook says that he's received over 500 reported sightings, along with hundreds and hundreds of photographic evidence over the past, 30 plus years.
That's impressive for an animal that only comes out every 10 years.
Well, that's where our pattern breaks. It just starts going buck wild. Yeah.
What's the point of a pattern?
Yeah. There's also a woman. Her name is Linda Godfrey. She is a cryptozoologist.
Zyptocroologist.
So she's from Wisconsin. She says that she also sees a lot of, she also receives a lot of similar reportings. Mm-hmm. Because apparently Wisconsin has a very similar cryptid as us.
They're all hopped up on cheese. Yes.
So yeah, they say cheese is like morphine.
Is it? Mm-hmm. That explains a lot.
It does. So she said that she winds up receiving stories ranging from Kalamazoo to the Manistee area.
All in Michigan while she's in Wisconsin.
Yes, because they're very similar creatures.
They take that Beaver Express across the Great Lakes.
Yeah. Wait, what is the ship that goes across the Great Lakes?
Something Beaver.
Is it?
Yeah.
Google it while I finish reading you the story. So all of these sightings
on my dead phone.
Oh no, do you need my phone?
The only problem with that is that's my blood sugar meter, homie.
Oh,
so.
No. Oh no.
No, don't Google it. Just go. You keep reading.
Okay.
I gotta go put my phone on the charger. Otherwise, I might die.
So all these sightings lead up. You're not gonna die.
Diabetic issues.
So all of these sightings lead up to the ultimate evidence, which is the Gable film. Did you hear what film it was?
Gable?
Yep.
Like Clark?
Yes. So it was the
For real?
I almost said Clark Gable. No, it's not for real. So it was the Gable film. This was handed over.
He's an actor, right? Like Gone
Clark
with the Wind?
Gable, isn't that the guy from the... Who's the guy from the Christmas with the lamp, with the fishnet?
What?
Oh my gosh.
From the... You're talking the lamp thing?
Mm-hmm. With a leg.
No, he's from like the one where the the bell rings, angel gets its wings. Miracle on whatever street.
34th Street?
Yeah, is that Clark Gable?
I don't know.
We are so cultured.
You guys.
Gosh.
We just watch Elf every Christmas.
Yeah. I think Gone with the Wind is Clark Gable.
Is it? I
said I think.
Okay.
No clue. My phone's dead as a doornail because I played too much Pokemon Go today, apparently. I have no idea.
All right.
And I listen to much Harry Potter audiobooks at work.
It's gone off the rails.
Gone with the Wind.
So the Clark Gable film handed over to Steve Cook.
Not Clark. The Gable film.
The Gable film was handed over to Steve Cook in 1997 from a lady that said she bought it in a junk box at an estate sale.
Okay.
Your favorite.
Question mark. Oh, I do love a junk box.
Yeah.
At an auction, you get to where they're when they have the shoe boxes full of shit from people's junk drawer, I am going to bid that shit up to at least $3. And I
just so he can go through it later.
100%.
And I
think about how much good shit's in your junk drawer right now.
All right. Well, there's a lot of needles in our junk drawer.
Well, yeah, I'm fucking diabetic, okay? Yeah, we have syringes and shit. That's not going to be our junk drawer. But think of how much cool stuff's in our junk drawer.
Oh, we have Fitbit bands.
Pocket knives.
We have a really cool silver dish from Rogers and whatever the
I separate out Canadian pennies because I'm a weirdo.
Do you really?
Yeah, we have Canadian pennies in there.
All right, guys. I'm finding out a weird quirk about my husband as we speak right now.
It's because I roll change.
I don't know how.
It's because I roll change.
You're not gonna fucking notice 2 or 3 Canadian pennies. That's where you hide them.
I'm gonna notice.
They won't notice. And that's all that matters.
Our printer press block up there that has all our weird small shit has Canadian pennies in it.
Why have I never noticed this?
Because you don't pay attention to things, and I'm a little
compulsive.
No, people like to say the word eccentric because it's less offensive.
Okay, he's a little eccentric.
Thank you. Makes you sound interesting. And not crazy.
So anyway, it's an old film. It's an old 35 millimeter film camera. It was shot in the mid 70s. It starts out as the usual home video, There's kids riding around on snowmobiles, some footage of an old rusty truck, and as the truck is driving along, a huge black creature is spotted. I have to find my business here. Oh my goodness.
If you look too hard on that phone, you'll find my business.
That's buried in a folder. So anyway, as the truck is driving along, a huge black
Is this where you're going to show me pictures?
Yep.
That I'm going to be a dick about?
Yes, you are.
Okay.
So a huge black creature is spotted in this like sparse woods area.
Mm-hmm.
In the next 23 seconds is them searching for the animal in the woods, and then they finally spot it, and it pauses for a few seconds, and it shows them like a standoff. It sizes up the cameraman sizes up it, and then all of a sudden this like giant dog gorilla type looking animal sprints, and it zigzags through the woods toward the cameraman, who tries to run, and he doesn't make it. So Steve shares this evidence on his website, and it gets
He doesn't make it? What happens to him?
It's just like it finally tackles him, and then all of a sudden the camera like shakes to the ground, and you see some teeth, and then it just is gone.
Seems suspect. Does this guy die? Who is this guy?
We don't know. It's all a mystery. It's because it's from the estate sale.
Seems sus.
So it gets thousands and thousands of hits, and it becomes the undeniable evidence needed to prove the existence of the Michigan Dogman.
Could be a bunch of kids making a spoof video.
I'm gonna show you the clips from the footage. I would show you the footage, but then I have to find it. Shit.
Okay.
So here's where they find a glimpse in the woods, and this is when they actually find it after wandering and trying to find it for a little bit. So there it is, way off in the woods. Right. Hold on. Don't look at my bullshit.
You can't.
It is closer as it's running towards you.
Okay. Looks like a lump of shit.
Okay.
No
and here
idea
it is as it zigzags and stretches out as it's like. So it was running at an angle, and then it zigs off this way, and this is it as it's stretching out mid-run.
Okay, still looks like a blob of shit.
Okay, well, it's from the 70s.
Okay.
It's on,
I'm just saying, I can't even tell which part's up on that thing.
Right, but look, here, let me look. Okay, can you see let me zoom in a little bit more. Can you see its, tail thing, and its legs, and its head and shit?
Sure.
Okay, it's from the 70s. So it's rough looking, It
looks very buffalo-esque.
Yeah.
I will give them the buffalo dog reference.
Okay, in the 70s.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so up until this point, evidence has only been taken from word of mouth, stories, or photographs. Some of the most compelling evidence include the McHale photo, and that one was taken in the summer of 1968 by Deanne in Garden Peninsula. I don't actually know which weird little...
1968?
Yep.
Were they on the pot?
Probably. On the marijuana.
Yep.
So this was in the northern part of the mitten. She was watching a herd of deer eating in the field near her house, and she went out to photograph the herd and saw something stalking them off to the right. So she panned her camera over and saw this huge dog trotting toward the deer. And according to her, it stopped and stood up on its hind legs, and she claimed it stood there for a solid 2 minutes before the deer noticed.
So
and
it's
they wound
a bear.
up running away.
So it's a bear.
She says it was a dog. She says it was a big black dog.
Sounds like a bear, but okay.
So she managed to get pictures. Experts say that the photo isn't doctored in any way, but wildlife experts say that it is normal for wolves to stand on their hind legs occasionally, but never more than a few seconds at a time. To me, like you said, it could possibly be just a really skinny looking bear.
You have
or
pictures of this one
possibly
too?
a wolf. So yes, this is the photo.
Oh yeah, it's a fucking bear.
Yeah, it looks like it's a skinny bear.
It doesn't even look that skinny. It looks like a fucking bear.
Yeah, she swears it's a dog. Which, if you look at its snoot, it looks like it could be a little bit of a dog.
Looks like a bear.
All right.
To me, that's fucking Winnie the Pooh going after some bears. Or deers.
Deers, yeah. It's fuck the 100-acre wood.
The first picture.
Notice how there are no deer stuff. There are no deer characters. It's just stuff a bear would never eat.
A bear won't eat a deer?
No, a bear would probably eat a deer. But a bear wouldn't eat a tiger or a kangaroo. And it'd probably eat a donkey.
Where are you going with this?
I'm just saying. All of Pooh's friends are animals they wouldn't eat, and there's no deer in the 100-acre wood because Pooh eats them. They're all like, oh, it's honey. No, it's not. It's the blood of the deer.
Okay. What about What's his name? David Robinson? That's a basketball player.
No. Christopher Robinson.
Christopher Robinson. David Robinson's the general. The Spurs.
They feast on deer together.
Oh, good.
Yeah. It's just getting darker and darker. Sorry. I'm just, in my mind, you have like that kind of like white-eyed version of like Pooh and Christopher Robin just eating raw deer meat in the corner of his little tree.
Pooh would probably eat Eeyore, but he's so fucking depressed that he's like, no, I'll let this one go. He would taste sad.
Yeah. I just got so dark.
Donkeys are probably mostly dark meat. So yeah.
Probably. So then there's the Beast of Seven Shoots. This one is controversial. It's from Canada.
Hey there, Big Shoots. Bringing all the Letterkenny references in.
So this one is in a little gully in some trees next to a waterfall, which was the man was initially trying to take a photo in his, like, I think it was 2005. Don't rub your head on that.
I didn't mean to. I bopped my head on the mic.
So this was in like 2005 with his like little shitty like digital Canon camera.
His Nokia.
No, it was definitely a Canon.
I had a Canon in 2005.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. We might still have that Canon.
We do.
Yeah. So it was also decided that this was not touched up in any way. Some people like to say that it's like a trick of the light.
Okay.
Some people are like, definitely not shadows. It is for sure an animal standing there. This is in Canada. But the reason why it's controversial is because it's kind of up for debate whether or not it is a sighting of a dogman, because it looks like it has an elongated snout, or if it's a Bigfoot. Either way, it's definitely clear as day that it's definitely a thing standing there. And a lot of people say that there's prey in its arms. So that's this one. Where when you zoom in, off to the left there.
That looks like a gorilla.
In Canada?
It escaped a local zoo.
Do you see it? Look how it looks like there's something in its hand.
It looks like a baby in its arms.
Oh, that's disturbing.
Like a baby gorilla. He just took the picture at the zoo.
It's
Toronto's
next to a waterfall.
Yeah, Toronto's got great zoos.
Yeah, clearly. They're like, go out and wander next to that waterfall.
Doesn't it look like a gorilla holding its baby?
No, it almost looks
No, zoom in.
It looks like a fucking capybara.
No.
Or like a giant rodent.
It looks like a gorilla with like a pot belly holding a baby.
No, it for sure looks much more...
You be the judge.
It's more white.
We're going to post it on the socials.
I maybe see a face. It looks like a giant... It looks like a capybara. It looks like a giant rodent.
It doesn't look like
Either
a dog at all.
Both of those, it shouldn't be in Canada.
It's got eyebrows.
It definitely... Our dog has eyebrows.
What?
Vaguely.
Keep reading your story.
Either way, it's probably not a dogman, but I'm for sure convinced it's a Bigfoot. You cannot tell me otherwise.
It may have above average feet, but that doesn't mean it's a Squatch.
I'm pretty sure it's a Squatch.
Okay.
And then there are the Chelsea tracks.
In Chelsea, like by us?
Yes, Chelsea by
Fun.
us. Yep. So there were some teenage boys that were out camping in the Waterloo Pinckney area. And this is back far enough for it to be 35 millimeter camera. I didn't write the date down because that would have been responsible. When they heard some like half animal, half human growling noises and rustling outside their tents. When they decided to check the area the next morning, the teens discovered evenly spaced giant dog prints as though there was something walking on two legs. So instead of like your traditional like all four dogs, like all four legs on like a dog walking, it looked like it was bipedal the way that humans walk.
Like a bear.
This is not a bear print. Wait till I show you.
Okay. I'm on bated breath over here.
So one of the boys placed their hand next to these dog prints, just for reference, and it was as big as his hand, which puts the size of the print about 7 inches in diameter. That's not a bear print.
Okay.
150%.
Big wolf.
Yeah. Okay. Very big wolf. Because in this the show that I was watching, this documentary, it was very high key. It had papyrus font. It had very dramatic voiceover. It was called like Michigan Dogman, like Evidence, 2008.
Ooh.
And I know it said that they were people that actually like enlisted like a wildlife expert, a veterinarian, and a couple of like photograph experts to determine whether or not something's been doctored. Their veterinarian expert said that a paw print that size would be, if it was a canine, it would have had to have been 250 pounds in size.
It's a big dog.
Yeah. Like a dog-man-sized dog.
I don't know how big dogmans are.
So, and then there's the History Channel's Monster Quest. They got wind of the Michigan Dogman. With all of the overdramatics of a preteen girl, they set out looking for evidence of the Michigan Dogman. Ultimately, all they did was get their truck stuck, got helped by some locals that had a story about a wolf they found in their own cabin up north, and then stirred up a lot of local coyotes and wolves. They found some good food sources for the potential dogman to feed on. So they're like, oh yeah, it's definitely a possibility that this thing exists in this area because it can eat the animals that came this way. So after finding and interviewing Steve Cook, they finally got the truth about the infamous Gable film. So it turns out after the mild mass hysteria caused by Steve Cook's Dogman song. 10 years later, it inspired a man named Mike Agrusa, who decided to enlist the help of his kids and his collection of vintage vehicles and truck and snowmobiles and his 1970s video recorder. He decided he was going to make a short film to reignite that mass hysteria.
Okay.
It's the Clark Gable film.
Okay.
So he
Not
made it
the Clark Gable film,
Clark Gable
but
film.
a Gable film.
Yes. So he made it as accurate as possible, studying home videos that were made at the time in the 1970s. He even produced water, like he wound up causing water damage to this film, because when the film experts in that one document looked at it, they were like, there's enough damage to this that you can tell it's been sitting outside. Because this was in 2008.
The yard sale footage?
Yeah. So that was in 2008 when that YouTube video came out.
Mm-hmm.
It was revealed in 2010 that it was a hoax.
Okay.
But it was a very good hoax. So he made it as accurate as possible. And then, again, that long-ass video on YouTube couldn't find anything to debunk it. And they were convinced that a man in an animal suit could not move the way that animal does in the film. They're like, we found athletes and we tested it. They couldn't reproduce that in an animal suit.
Okay.
So what wound up happening was instead of using a suit, Mike used a ghillie suit so that it was easier to move through the woods.
Nice.
You know what a ghillie suit is?
Yeah, you're just like a bush.
Yeah. Yes. For those of us who don't. Yeah. For those of us who don't know. Yeah. It's like a big bush, essentially.
Yeah.
So Chase, a friend of mine in high school, for Spirit Week, I don't even remember what day it was. It doesn't matter. He wore a ghillie suit to school, and he would just lay down in the hallways.
Nice.
Yeah. To impede.
Super effective.
Yeah, to impede traffic. He would just, every break that day, he would just lay down in the really long stretch, almost down by Bunk's office or Bunk's class. He would lay in the hallway in there and just let people walk around. And no one cared because he was funny and he was a junior in high school and wound up going off to the military. So no one gave a shit if he was late for class.
Yeah.
And that's the fun of living in the country, guys.
Right, in a small school.
So, so Steve had no clue that Mike was working on this film until Mike handed it over. And this wound up, and then they created the old lady at an estate sale backstory to give the film more authenticity. Mike even created a sequel to the film with a few minutes of a police investigation into the aftermath of the Dogman attack. Despite, he wound up burying himself half into the ground, and he had this like prosthetic that he put on and he tucked his shirt over, and like people were convinced that he'd done such a good job replicating what essentially would be entrails, that people were convinced that they had used real animal entrails to mimic it. And he's like, nope, I just did this with spray foam and paint. So despite Steve and Mike admitting that the film was a hoax, there are still some people that believe the footage is real. And as for Steve, he is a skeptic of the Michigan Dogman himself, but he isn't going to be so arrogant to think that we know everything that's in the Michigan wilderness and what it has to offer. And he also doesn't want to invalidate what people have actually seen. He just happened to fall into this sort of
hoaxy.
Yeah, this cryptid event that he had no clue was going on, and then he created this song, and then it just kind of created a mass hysteria from there.
Yeah.
But for Steve's part, the proceeds that he's made from his song, The Legend, has raised over $60,000, which he has given to different animal charities.
Nice.
Like animal rescues and stuff. Yes. So that is the story behind the Michigan Dogman.
Took a turn that was very not terrible. The dog's caught up on our mic cord.
Again?
What's wrong with you, Tupid? Look at you, Tupid. She needs to go outside.
Oh, she does. So let's do sources real quick, and then we'll let the dog outside.
Okay.
To get eaten by a buffalo-sized cryptid.
Yes.
So I used...
She's 12 pounds of fury. She'll defend herself.
Yes. I used WRKR.com. An article named
WRKR,
yes.
Home of the Steve Cook in the Morning. Let's get cooking.
So, the article's name is the five most cryptid creatures in Michigan. There was an article from HuffPost.com called "The Michigan Dogman." There's the mysterious upright canine creature haunts state's backwoods, and a MichiganRadio.org article called "Who's a Good Boy? Not the Michigan Dogman."
Wow. Yes. Goodness.
Yes. And then I found Steve Cook's song, The Legend, his lyrics at least, and the YouTube video called Michigan Dogman Evidence 2008 and the Monster Quest episode, it was season 4, episode 9.
Of history.
From history.com.
Nice.
Yep.
So yeah, that was lighter.
Yeah. It's our own cryptid.
Aw, little hometown cryptids.
Oh, yes.
We should lobby if we ever make a dodgeball team.
That's his name?
Yes. The Michigan Dogmans.
Hometown cryptids.
Yes, just Dirk Nowitzki chucking a dodgeball at 70 miles.
Oh, I didn't show you that. I'm so glad you brought that up.
Did you know?
Yes.
Okay.
So there was one story that I didn't include where this family they were up hunting up north in their cabin, and they had field dressed some deer near the driveway, and they go to leave, and there's a bunch of entrails by the driveway. They back up. Their teenage son, who's in the back seat, is freaking the fuck out because the taillights hit this creature. Mm-hmm. And you're going to be like, this is why I had to save it. Because you showed me that picture of the Dirk, whatever the hell his name is. And then this is the cryptid.
Okay.
Tell me that's not the bear version of him. With his arms all weird and long.
Maybe. Can't tell what that is.
It is. Here, let me zoom out a little bit. Is that better?
Sure. Yeah, that's way better.
It's
probably just a dirty, rotten trash panda.
It's a real big, dirty, rotten trash panda.
Goddamn raccoons.
It's very large.
It is.
But to be fair, there could totally be a log there and there's a bear just yelling at them.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Also, this podcast became an hour long.
Yep. And this is why we've decided maybe to cut it back to 1.
100%.
Yes.
All right. If you've made it this far.
Congratulations.
Yes. You are a trooper and an OG to this podcast.
Yes, you are. We appreciate you.
Yes.
That's what we appreciate about you.
Yep. That's how what she appreciates about me.
Yes.
And the Letterkenny references are strong and often in this episode.
Yes, they are.
So yeah, like we said, big changes coming. Kind of. Not really. Moderate changes coming. Mm-hmm. So keep listening. If you hate it, just become a patron and then maybe you'll get more of this. If not, you'll at least get one bonus episode.
Yeah.
So that's
the next
thing.
one, I don't think I'll drink alcohol for the next one.
Okay. Just to tamper it down. For the one with the with Jamie and Beth. Mm-hmm. The one where we record for 2 hours straight.
Look. There's no way. I don't think you realize how much I wrote.
Then we'll die. Anyway, so keep an eye out for that next week. That should be fun.
Yes.
Assuming we can make schedules and Zoom and
medical emergencies work.
And audio podcasts with people in different states work. I don't see anything that could go wrong. So keep an ear out for that. It's a weird expression.
Yep.
Keep both ears out. Yep. I actually only listen to things in my left ear all the time at work because my right ear faces the public.
It is going to atrophy eventually.
Probably. I should really switch it up. All right. Thanks for listening.
Yes.
And we'll talk to you guys next week.
Okay.
All right?
Okay.
All right, bye.
Okay, bye. Thanks for listening to our terrible podcast. You can find us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and Google Podcasts, or wherever you like to listen. Feel free to follow us on Twitter at TMSTPod.
And if you'd like to support the show, you can find us on Patreon at Tell Me Something Terrible.
Oof, that was terrible.